This is the brief on the Waffenträger hybrids. Combat, evolution. Today, we're unpacking the lore of this favorite German artillery monster from the home animation series, looking at exactly why its journey from a mindless weapon into a tactical genius makes it so unbelievably dangerous. First, let's look at its brain. It actually started out as this aggressive beast, driven purely by instinct, but it evolved into a calm, highly intelligent strategist. It knows it lacks raw durability, right? So it analyzes situations and actively retreats if it's at a disadvantage. Like when it smartly dodges the heavy fire of the massive KV-44 tank. It literally went from a blunt hammer into a surgical scalpel. Second, because of this new tactical mindset, it learned to completely weaponize its environment. Using its signature drill upgrade, it doesn't just trade blows on the surface anymore. Instead, it digs underground to create traps, evade damage, and launch devastating ambush attacks on larger enemies from below. I mean, imagine trying to fight a steel trapdoor spider. How do you even defend against an enemy right beneath your feet? Finally, brilliant. Tactics are really only as good as the arsenal backing them up. And man, it is packing energy shields, buzzsaws, flamethrowers, lasers, and it even used the Leviathan healing stone for near infinite regeneration until it got destroyed. But what happens when a machine absorbs too much raw power? Well, consuming a Techno Demon energy core made it massively powerful, but it temporarily lost control. In the previous video, we've learned about KV-6 heroes. He was also the first artillery monster. That's why today, let's move to the other side of the line and learn about the Waffentrager is Germany's first artillery monster, one of the favorites of the series, with a series of small but extremely formidable upgrades. Drago was the first production of T-38 after he too tired of being teased by the enemy. Soldiers are lazy all the time, can't do anything. After many days of research and development, T-38 finally finished Waffentrager. However, to operate, this machine needs a brain to control it. T-38 is in preparation, and a subordinate reinvents the game. Accidentally activated the system. That's the same system that took T-38's brain to install in Waffentrager. As soon as you wake up, the monster is overwhelmed by instinct, completely out of control. Destroy the German base and then go out and make a mess. But only after a short time. West 38 regained consciousness, realized what he had done. Return immediately to the base, take your brain out of Waffentrager, and put it back in the body. Then I locked the monster in the closet. After controlling a T-38, start arming for Waffentrager and take it to the battlefield. In a match against KV-6 while on the finishing D, the Waffentrager was shot down by Sterling. Since then, it's been abandoned as a useless machine, not repaired, not used, just lying there as forgotten. For a while, at a later time, when T-38 and his men went to the moon to build the base, the body of the Waffentrager was sent by Leviathan. Here's a new brain from Raditip 38. He plans to resurrect this monster after Leviathan revealed, he stood up and started building his army. Recall, the Waffentrager and Stein Demon descend to Earth. Waffentrager, in collaboration with Ratatouille, parasites to attack Group KV-44. The battle was tense, but when it's about to take over, Stalin appeared in time, forced both of you to retreat. Leviathan accordingly. Washington was tasked with guarding and arresting the land works in the mine, and then KV-6 was resurrected and set out to help the land and revenge Rat against KV-6. It's much stronger than Washington. Defeated quite easily. When 7 fails the mission, it is completely destroyed by Leviathan. It seems to be over, but not yet. When Leviathan reaches the 0.BA form and back to the moon base, I know that T-38 has created a new version of the Cambodian weapon. Dragon is more modern. It's more powerful, and it's primarily based on the moon. According to the battle, the Demon King Leviathan, severely injured, to see the opportunity. No AI absorbs the power of Leviathan. Let's get out and mess up. A slim named Mimix clings to the body, Leviathan, and become the new Leviathan. Before that situation, T-38 and Waffentrager withdrew and successfully pushed Mimix down the cliff. To finish completely T-38, transferring all of the base's energy into Cambodia, Waffentrager went Mimic back. Cambodian Waffentrager put all the energy in. Cambodia fired a decisive blow and then immediately passed out. While the Mimic recovers, there's no other way. T-38 was forced to leave Waffentrager and retreat. Sometime after the base, the almost abandoned Waffentrager woke up while searching for the way out. He encountered the Labyrinth Warriors, and with power and cunning, I used hypnosis and later, but not for long. He was suddenly knocked unconscious by Ram and drained of energy. When you wake up Waffentrager, it's almost nothing. just a little bit of energy. Though, Waffentrager still trying to escape to the rescue ship, and eventually return to Earth, in a state of stagnation, almost completely exhausted. After landing on Earth, the Waffentrager is currently out of power. The rescue ship accidentally, he fell on a drilling machine of the doctor. Va touched him and dropped a healing stone right next to him. Weapons dragon. When he tried to pick it up, the stone, it suddenly works. The dragon weapon and the drill. Help it fully recover and upgrade from that weapon. Dragon, it's more likely to dig with a drill and fire. It's become more dangerous than ever. While moving, I saw Dora and thought she was the enemy. The Waffentrager immediately attacked. 38 tried to intervene, but Mimic stopped with the excuse of not liking Leviathan stuff. And as everyone knows, Dora is alive. Felixo twisted fast, so Waffentrager, of course, will win. By absorbing Dora's power. The Chaffer was officially renamed Hybrid. The next hybrid is Mimic. But the battle didn't last long. The Mimic recognizes Leviathan. If you are intervening, immediately withdraw. T-38 uses biscuits and milk code to control the hybrid. Get him to join the 5 German armies from here. The hybrid became a real weapon of war. During the attack on the Lean Fortress, Bucket with power from the healing stone. Hybrid is almost impossible to take down, even Black KV6, just a little sloppy, is skewed like KitKat bar. The hybrid continue to encounter KV44, with resilience and drill bit. Cause fatal damage. He caused KV44 to suffer 7 heavy. However, in a moment of capture, KV44 hit the spot of the stone. They both separate and return to their original state. When I checked the stone, it was gone. According to that event, T-38 for hybrid retreat. And he hasn't been on the front lines much since. Later, when the Tech Devil attacks and the Germans and the Lean Bucket forced to collaborate hybrid with the German monsters, other participating in the campaign to destroy the enemy's stone tower. However, when the skimmer appears to attack, hybrid is forced to defend his teammates, but it's caught and almost melted if it doesn't. Morok saved in time. Then Morok along, the hybrid group, he decided to withdraw from Eastern Europe and join Alta in the fight against the Tech Devil. Notice that the enemy appears almost indefinitely. Hybrid assigned to reconnaissance. After discovering the manufacturing plant, the whole team plans an attack. Atta and the Ravager will lure the Morok to build a wall. The hybrid will break in and destroy the energy core. The original plan went well. But at the right time, a guy called the Tech Knight predicted the hybrid's ability to dig instead of attacking outside. He appears directly at the core to block the way, due to the size-strength difference, and the steel environment makes it impossible to dig. The hybrid is at a disadvantage. There's no other choice. The hybrid did a suicide. Pierced the knight with a drill. Technology and plunged straight into the energy core. The explosion completely destroyed the factory and made the whole Tech Devil shut down. The explosion seemed to be over, but the hybrid is suddenly alive. I try to dig into the ground, but the body is starting to show signs. Abnormalities gradually lose control. Reunited with Morocco, hybrids can control themselves and immediately attack your own team. Realize that you can be a danger to everyone. I decided to leave, but Morok does not accept abandonment. You keep looking for the hybrid. It's completely out of control now. Continue to attack as soon as the hybrid is accumulating energy to deliver the finishing blow. I was shot down from a distance. Octa and Ravage. There were 3 people trying to bring the hybrid back. But under the influence of demonic energy technology, hybrid continuous intense resistance. Octa and Ravage must come out. Morocco alone is still trying to hold on to hope. He managed to control the hybrid in a short time, but when the KV6 comes to support the hybrid, sudden burst of energy. Morok was seriously injured and quickly fled. After being repaired, Morok and KV6 continue their search for hybrid, but at the same time, the technology demon forced the attack. KV6 must return to defend the base, and Morocco continues, keep going alone, while facing off against the tech demon golem. Too strong and fell into a stalemate. A sudden burst of energy appeared and shot down the golem. It's a hybrid with a completely new look. This time, I'm not out of control. Thanks to having used the hybrid healing stone before. Learned how to apply that mechanism to control the new energy that we're absorbing. After explaining, hybrid recommended Morok and KV6 return. I myself will continue to fight, to prove yourself and regain trust. But an individual like hybrid can't go unnoticed. Techno Demon engineer who created the technology demon. After observing the battle, he immediately made an arrest. Morok and KV6 arrived in time. They still can't stop him from taking the hybrid. At the hybrid base, disassembled helmet and drill bit. The engineer wants to analyze and study you, but hybrid won't give you the upper hand. Creates vibrations, energy breaks the chains, instead of a direct confrontation. The engineer threw you in the landfill, a place for 7 failed experiments, in order for the very creatures there to destroy you. No more drilling, no more firepower. Hybrid is forced to fight by weights. You take down a monster. Use the resources from it to survive. But that monster isn't dead. It's back to attack again, this time hybrid. Destroying its mask, helping it regain consciousness. That business thanked Hybrid for freeing me. Then give me the energy core. Help you recover, and have the ability to launch power saws. Keep moving deeper. Hybrid defeat more enemies, and unlock more shield-making abilities. The Hybrid is getting stronger. NG couldn't sit still. He immediately sent lighter Techno to destroy. With the ability to fire superheat later. Completely overwhelming despite my best efforts. The Hybrid still can't resist and in combat. I accidentally fell into another deep hole. After being unconscious for a while, Hybrid wakes up and suddenly finds himself tied up. Turns out a stranger saved you. This person said that he witnessed it's all about what hybrids do. I want you to help me find my brother. In a situation of no choice, Hybrid forced copper. It's not just because there's no turning back, it's because you've got a bomb on your head. If you refuse, you will detonate immediately. After acceptance, repaired Hybrid with new armor. And they both set out to find their brother. On the way, they're constantly encountering countless monsters, and a dangerous challenge. One of them is a confrontation with the Queen Bee. I thought I escaped, but soon after, they met another. The boss is even more terrifying. This creature has a deformed body. They can block any attack, and create a teleport port to counter the opponent. Hybrid and Kia can't kill at all. Significant injury. The situation got worse when the monster, he bit off half his body. The Hybrid then starts moving through the two gates, forming around. Set up speed with the goal of crushing both. At the moment it seems certain to die, the Queen Bee suddenly turned around from above and dived straight into the monster. Fu VA touched the Queen Bee was destroyed, and the monster survived, but was also severely weakened. And finally, someone else showed up. This one is called Red. After defeating the red monster, take the red jewel from his body and give it to him, Hybrid and Kia, on their bases, to continue his journey to find his brother. Here, both are completely repaired, and Hybrid also gets a new upgrade. It's almost the strongest ever before now. Then the whole team plans Red. A very important character is Ratatouille, who will act as a decoy. The plan is for Ratatouille to cause chaos. The other three sneak into the base, the engineer behind the technology. Plan to start. Ras Laura attack attracts all the attention. Meanwhile, Hybrid and Kia approach engineer still Red. Use the red stone to open the teleport port back to Earth. But here the truth is revealed. Red actually took advantage of both. His real goal is to get out of this place. As soon as the gate is opened, he immediately left, leaving the Hybrid and the Kia behind. Even worse at that moment, Leviathan Techno appears carrying a rat coconut skull. That rat was sacrificed in front of an evil enemy. The Hybrid had no choice but to retreat. You and the other two quickly run through the gate and escape from the enemy base. Back to the Hybrid. Promise to the Kia that in the future, help me find my missing brother. And then BA continued their journey back to headquarters. On the way, they suddenly discovered Tessirit's bunkers. When the fighting happened, ETA and KV6 timely appeared support. The team coordinated and destroyed the entire enemy. We then returned to the main base. Here, they get important news. It's a giant gate that's about to open, and the Tech Demon Lord is about to enter this world. Immediately, a large force of the Alliance, including both bases, are maneuvered, began to march to prevent the disaster. Whether they will succeed or not, we have to wait for the next part of the story. About personality, when it was Waffentrager is merely a cruel monster, born to fight. There's almost no thinking or feeling. After being reborn, the nature remains the same but becomes wiser. Instead of rushing blindly, he began to calculate, at a disadvantage, retreat and use the terrain to attack. For example, when facing KV6, he knows how to hide, to shoot, or when KV44 fires, immediately back to burn hands, instead of knowing you are not strong enough to take a beating. To a more complete version, the Hybrid personality has changed markedly. It's no longer a war machine. Hybrid becomes calm and has a high tactical mindset. Maybe it is. T-38 favors you with superior intelligence. Always know how to analyze the situation and come up with an effective way to deal with it. Throughout the journey, there's no physical advantage or firepower. Hybrid still takes advantage of terrain and trickery to defeat those stronger than you. It's a special question, and it's a big question. I don't know if it's due 38 forgotten or not. And in the beginning, you said almost nothing. Keep silent most of the time. And just really speak up. When it comes to the Tech Devil. Also from the war with the Tech Devil, another aspect of Hybrid. Newly revealed, if you were a warrior before, smart but insensitive, I have a clearer feeling now. Hybrids worry about their teammates, even actively stay away from a rock, for fear of losing control. It would be dangerous for everyone. Not only that, Hybrid is also a very promising person. After returning to Earth, although no longer forced, he was determined to help the Kia find his brother, simply because I promised I would. You can say Hybrid. It's one of the characters, the most obvious development of home animation from an inanimate hound of the faction. Germany becomes a thinking warrior, emotional and reliable. Of appearance and strength, weapons dragon, to be inspired from the German light tank destroyer in real life, stand out with mobility and the ability to deliver devastating blows. in its original form. Warhammer, Dragon. It's the grey-white color of the Germans. Design is quite compact, with a main cannon that's not too big, but strong enough to make dangerous shots. The mouth is a monster, artillery style. It feels both mechanical and biological after being upgraded to combat. He's got reinforced armor on the head and front of the body. At the same time, the jaw is also armored. The firepower is also increased with the addition of 2 Waffen variable guns. The dragon became a significant threat to the Union Army, bucket at that time. When resurrected, appearance becomes more ferocious and metal. In its basic form, he has another gun. Filler can spray flame and shoot laser. When the next upgrade, he's got 2 more guns in front of him. Thicker and a horn that enhances the appearance of danger. Change is not too disruptive, but enough to raise combat power to a level. The big turning point lies in the electric Waffentrager version. Now the design is modern, stronger and more complex, with many details bearing power element. Overall, look markedly mechanized, much more powerful than previous versions. It's not just increased firepower, weapons dragon. It also has the ability to create energy shields for defense, with attacks with powerful energy rays. And that comes with the ability to analyze situations and fight smarter. Turn me into a warrior. There is a strategy, however. The weakness of this form is energy dependence. Weapons dragon. You always need energy to stay strong. When fully evolved into hybrids, you're equipped with the same drill. Armor protects the head and body. The main gun is reinforced, carry style, like Dora's cannon but in smaller size. The most characteristic feature is the ability to dig hybrids to create traps, ambush and launch a deadly attack from underground. Also thanks to the healing stone of Leviathan, hybrids are capable of almost infinite regeneration. It makes you an extremely difficult opponent to defeat. But it's not without its weaknesses. Although often taking the initiative, hybrid again, 7 times failed, not finishing the game fast enough. The most obvious is when facing KV-44. In the moment of capture, as it rises from the ground, the recovery stone was hit and destroyed from there. Hybrid. He's lost his ability to heal and his ability to create shields. Not sure if it's completely lost or to save energy. But since that time, I don't use these powers anymore. Caused the power to be greatly reduced. After crashed into the energy core of the tech devil, the hybrid absorbs this power directly. Immediately body and eye color turn to dark blue. Completely new energy state signaling. Power now soared to the point where the hybrid itself, it can't be controlled either. Excess energy source. You can even connect with the technology devil's system to see their perspective. And every time we detect a strange creature, the body automatically goes into attack mode. In a hybrid out of control state, you can create energy shocks every time someone approaches at the same time. You're also capable of building local energy shields to protect every part of the body. The gas is also upgraded. The flamethrower can now shoot out blue lasers, strong enough to destroy everything along the way. Although strong, this form mainly acts as a stepping stone, premise for a complete change later, then a steady state of combat. And once you've mastered the power source, hybrid takes on a whole new shape. Changes in both body structure and equipment. The head is no longer in the middle of the body that is left behind. Same with the design. Dragon weapon, first life, overall body, neater but sturdy and markedly mechanized. The gun system was replaced by a new one, bearing modern machinery style, with many wire details. The barrel of the gun is homologous, old version but refined for more modern parts. Optimized armor is no longer bulky, but still ensure high strength. On top is a medieval knight's hat. Can be opened when normal and closed when fighting. When closed, the cracks are covered in pale blue energy. It feels both modern and extremely cool. The drill is retained, but the armor around has been removed to increase the flexibility of the capacity. The hybrid can now generate the energy shield again. When using a drill, it can create a force field to scatter the accumulated energy and shoot out beam rays, strong energy as before. It's a good balance of power, speed and controllability. However, it's pretty black that this form only appears in one episode. The next episode was almost completely disassembled. Straighten your arms to balance the strength of your character. After being caught and taken down to the hybrid waste site. After 2 battles, it's got new capabilities and new equipment. The appearance has now removed the drill and the helmet. Instead on the body appear purple cores. In front of the car body is mounted a mechanism. It's like a creature with a saw blade. Before and after the body, the car is also equipped with spikes in this form. Hybrid can be launch the front circular saw blade to attack the enemy, and it can be recorded later. Saw blades are also used for close quarters combat. Complete replacement for the previous drill bit, besides unknown while disassembled. In addition to equipment and ammunition. Functions are affected or not when the hybrids can no longer create energy shields. Not until you defeat a monster. It is capable of creating shields. You can use it again. It is limited to 3 times and takes time to recover. This form is not too strong. Even though SAOs are just 7 failed experiments thrown away, the design is pretty cool though. This form also appears 2 episodes before being replaced again. After the battle with Lighter, the hybrid is not seriously injured, but most of the armor has been melted. So, the companion, it can only be repaired temporarily and replace some parts for the hybrid. It's now equipped with an array. Large armor protects the front half. can be converted to better defense support. The head is also armored. Cover the machine details inside. But you can still create. Shield with BA times use and return. However, the saw blade weapon was completely lost due to unrecoverable in battle with lighter. I can tell you, this isn't really an upgrade, but rather just temporary equipment too. Hybrid can continue to fight longer. After the battle with the gate-making monster, the hybrid was in a state of extreme decay, so it was red. Repairing the whole thing this time. Almost the whole body is reworked, from the head to the weapons. The body doesn't change too much, keep the design old but recreated in a more stable state. The first part is distinctly mechanized, thicker and more mechanical than before. The outer purple cores are also gone. It's transported inside the body through it. Hybrid can still make shields as before. At the same time, the fire is stronger than it looks. It's not a big change in appearance, but the functions are more complete and stable. You can say hybrid. He was one of the characters who came home the best animation. From personality development to the number of forms. They even have their own journey, and the independent story. Even if it doesn't appear too much, but the number of upgrades that hybrid ownership is not inferior to any AI. A true baby. What do you think about hybrid is exactly what I said.